what we're going to do first is warm up the rear tires with line lock. That locks up the front brakes, allowing the back wheels to spin freely and kind of warm up those tires for a 0 to 60 run. Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and this is a 2025 Ford Mustang GT Performance, the not quite tippy top performance spec of the new generation Mustang. Yes, this slots under the new Dark Horse and Insane GTD models. So while yes, this one is quite impressive, they get crazier still. The Ford Mustang is both the last and the first of a dying breed of pony car. Yes, started here with the Mustang. The Camaro is gone, the Challenger is gone, and unless you consider that all-electric Dodge Charger Daytona a muscle car, pony car, the Charger is gone. In this video, I'm going to examine what makes this formula so special, while you may want to buy one, and why you may want to veer away from electric hatchback cosplaying as a muscle car, pony car, whatever. All that and more. Stay tuned. All right, gearheads, this is where I want to start. This is a window sticker, not for this Mustang, but for my 2012 Camaro SS 2SS Coupe 45th Anniversary Edition. And it's kind of a little bit of a time machine. First of all, 16 city, 24 highway, 19 combined. But the number I'm very interested in here, the sale price, $38,910 back in 2012. Now, I know this 2025 is newer and inflation and all that. So I did go onto the government's inflation calculator to figure out that my 2012 Camaro in today's money would cost somewhere around $54,000. Once you know that this 2025 is over $60,000, somewhere around $66,000 as this one sits. And full disclosure, this exact one is actually a very late production 2024 model, but I'm going to be referring to it as a 25 because nothing outside of the price has really changed for the 25 model year. And I am going to be talking a lot about my Camaro because this is a little hard pill to swallow, because 54,000 to 66,000 is a pretty big gap, but there's a lot of technology, a lot of new stuff in this that could, in theory, help justify the stratospheric pricing of this. I do think the pricing is one of the reasons why this species of vehicle is dying out. And it is quite unfortunate because I am a huge fan of pony cars. I have loved the pony car wars since I was 9 years old. The Chevy Camaro is the reason why I love cars. So I have an interesting relationship with this Mustang here, because it is because of this Mustang that my beloved Camaro has now died twice. But under the hood of this particular Mustang, we have the, of course, naturally aspirated 5.0 liter Coyote V8 engine, making 486 horsepower, 418 pound-feet of torque, routed to those two rear wheels as it should be, but through, in our particular tester's case, a 10-speed automatic transmission that, yes, was co-developed with Chevrolet and did find its way into the Chevy Camaro. However, that does mean that this, in theory, is the quicker of the Mustang options when it comes to the transmission. If 0 to 60 is all you care about, get the 10-speed. But this V8 engine is very impressive. I have always held, even as a lifelong Camaro guy, that Mustangs just have the sound. They have always sounded better, and that is absolutely the case with this Coyote V8. In this particular model, we have 2 intakes on this one. This big cross member Strut-Tower brace up here. A lot to make this stiff and breathe quite well. But as we close the hood, we have functional heat extractors here in the hood. We get a look at the face. There is some retro styling here, but this is a very future forward Mustang in all respects. I mean, we have LED lighting, the LED turn signals, the sequential LED turn signals over there, and just a nice cleaned up look that borrows hints at the past just a little bit. I like it. I think this is a very good design. The hood is nice and long. The grille does feature that iconic running stallion up there. So all that is very important. But interestingly enough, we're a little asymmetric over here. This is a fake panel over here on this side, but you can see down here, we do have a radiator cooler underneath the passenger or the driver's side of the front of this one. Little on my OCD radar, but otherwise this is a very handsome pony car from the front and would be very menacing if it was staring down in your rearview mirror. Now, you may have noticed something a little bit askew with that Mustang there in the grille. It's bronze, and well, that is because we have the bronze appearance package on our particular tester here, which does include, yes, a bronze Mustang there in the grille, bronze wheels, and bronze badging. I really do appreciate the look of this Mustang from head to toe. Even as a lifelong Camaro lover, enthusiast, this Mustang is absolutely worth a look and will turn heads no matter where it goes, especially with that bronze appearance package. As we come in close here, we will take a look. We have staggered width wheels on our tester here. Up front, we've got these 19-inch wheels. They are 255/40 R19 wrapped around the bronze wheels. We have Brembo brakes filling out that entire 19-inch wheel as best as it can. Very, very big, very grabby Brembo brakes up front. And then moving to the rear here, we have a wider 275/40 R19 wrapped around yet again these bronze wheels that absolutely make this vehicle stand out, especially with this metallic blue paint. I really do like the overall look of it. And then, yes, you can see we also have those bronze 5.0 badging there on the side. That is not the only bronze badging that we get on our tester, because as we move around to the rear of the vehicle, we also get the bronze GT there on the trunk lid. Come in close and give you a nice look. And to anyone lucky enough to get this close to the back of you, you can see we have the GT Performance model. So just some cool little call outs here throughout the exterior of our particular tester. Now, something that is unique to almost all Mustangs is this little Easter egg in the back window that is going to be incredibly hard for me to capture for you, but it is all generations of Mustang. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and the 7th and current generation. The silhouette of them displayed across that back window. A very cool looking little Easter egg hidden back there on the back window. But as we get around to the back of the vehicle, again, there are some subtle nods to the history of this vehicle, but this is a very modern vehicle in its design and its overall aesthetic. We do have those very wide hips that give it a strong muscular stance. We have that very pronounced fastback roofline, and it just all culminates in this very pronounced back end. Just look at that crease there between the top and bottom. Now, I can't say from having taken this to a car wash that it gets quite wet underneath here. You're gonna be spending a lot of time kind of making sure all of this is cleaned up and dried off. But then This massive wing on the back absolutely looks spectacular from all angles, especially in the driver's seat as you look through your rear view mirrors. If you need to get into the trunk for whatever reason, we do have an electronic latch right there that does open up the trunk. Now, Ford claims a very solid 13-ish cubic feet of storage space back here, but the opening is quite compromised for loading in some large items. So actually being able to use it to its fullest may come into question there a little bit. You do also have a 50-50 split bench back seat here that you can fold down from inside the vehicle, so you can get some longer items in here if they can fit through this rather small opening. Additional storage elements, items in this one underneath the load floor here where a spare tire could be is, well, a little bit more room, and then yes, your fix-a-flat kit down there underneath. But yeah, you're not buying a Mustang for its everyday livability or practicality, so well, that's the trunk for you. Before we get too involved with this one, I do want to show you the key. It is your typical Ford key with a Mustang there on the back, but all of your necessary buttons, and yes, you can deploy a physical key. We have unlock, lock, your remote start, because we do have the automatic, your trunk release, and panic button. I do want to show you a very cool feature from this key, and well, it's perhaps a laughably dumb or just a really cool feature depending on who you are. But we'll go ahead and lock it. We'll double tap the remote start. We'll fire it up. Remote start's nothing new or different, but we're going to come around here to the back as I elaborate exactly what this particular feature is. It's called Remote Rev. So with the vehicle remote started and the key in your hand, you unlock and lock. And if that wasn't enough for you, unlock and lock again. So yes, the entire world can know that you have the 5-liter V8 under the hood, and you can wake up all the neighbors before you ever get out of your house in the morning, I suppose. But other than features like that, you don't need to take the key out of your pocket because you can simply just walk up to the vehicle. We have passive entry here, so you can just touch on the back of the door handle. That unlocks it. Pressing right there locks it again. But we'll go ahead and open the one of 2 doors on this 2-door coupe. And given that we have the performance model, we've got the up-level leather interior. Though it's black on black, not my favorite. I would love to have seen some contrast in here. But there are some nice luxuries that my $38,000 2012 Camaro did not have, like memory seats. 3-person memory seat over here. And then we have all of our window controls down here. Nice padded armrest and design all the way around over here. We also have a multi-way positional seat here with 2-way lumbar. Though, interestingly enough, we have a manual recline. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that you can quickly fold this forward to get into the back seat. As we take a look at the seats, you can see they are perforated, so they are heated and ventilated. That is also something that my 2012 Camaro did not have, seat ventilation. We also have the all-weather floor mats in this, which for the week that we've had that, this vehicle have absolutely come in handy because it has been raining every day, but today it feels like. As we come inside, we have a very modern interior. The dual cockpit design has gone away in favor of, well, you can see a big screen. We'll go ahead and put my foot on the brake, start the vehicle up properly, and all the electronics come to life. So we have 2 digital screens here, smaller screen in front of the driver for all your driver information stuff, and then a larger screen over here that does support wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Before we get too far, I do want to point out we have our physical light controls here, our brightness controls for the gauge cluster, and your trunk release right there. A lot of controls on the steering wheel, including your paddle shifters that are plastic on the back side of the steering wheel, but lots of stuff going on here in the steering wheel and over here on the screen. I almost don't know where to start, so we will start back here with the screen itself. You'll see very classic style gauge design here. That has been my design of choice, but that does not mean it has to be yours. So you hit the Mustang button right down here. That brings up this screen on the infotainment, and then you can go to cluster theme. You can match it to drive mode. You can put it on the normal gauge screen, which looks like a modern digital analog type screen. You can go to sport, which gives it a little more athletic look. You can go to track, which really focuses on your RPM. You can go to calm, which shows almost next to nothing. And then you can go to where I was with the classic gauge that mimics a 67 to 68. You can check out the Fox body from the 87 to 93 body style, or an SVT Cobra from 99 to 01. Get those white-faced gauges back there in the back. But classic really has been the gauge theme for me that I have enjoyed in my time with it. You can see you also get a lot of other things when you hit that Mustang button. All your track apps like your drift brake, your line lock, your performance timers, and the like. All of that buried here within the screen. You also get your auxiliary gauges, so you can see exactly what's going on with your vehicle. You can even adjust what you have where. Go back from there. You've got your different drive modes, so you can change all your different drive modes here. The colors that you have in here, because we do have ambient lighting. So that's some cool stuff. Both your displays and ambient lighting can be customized here on the screen. And then back to your cluster theme. So you do get a lot of cool things built into this large infotainment screen. But I don't know, does it become a little less classic and a little more clinical when you've got screens, even if they do mimic this classic 67 design theme behind the steering wheel? I don't know, maybe, perhaps, but it's kind of a sign of the times. You do have all your ADAS controls over here with your lane keep, your adaptive cruise control. All of that is very nice, but these buttons right here, all your different modes, we have several different driver modes: normal, sport, track, drag strip, and slippery to go along with that custom drive mode. So you can go through several different drive modes with this. That changes everything from your throttle response, traction control settings, things like that, all right here from the steering wheel, which is very nice. You can also dig through some menus and fix it up here. You can see we also do have our HVAC controls on the screen right here. They do pretty much stay in place no matter what you are doing, even if you are in reverse and triggering that backup camera. So I do like that because you can change your temperature while backing down a long driveway, perhaps. We do have dual zone climate control, which is nice, something I did not have. And we have, as I mentioned earlier, heated and ventilated seats, which is very nice. We also have a heated steering wheel. Very nice vents, very well placed. They do the job quite well. You can see the bright red engine start button right here, your volume control right here. And this is something we've seen in a lot of Fords. It's like one big button, but it knows where you're pressing, and that has your engine start, stop, defeat, your Mustang mode that takes you to all your drive modes, your traction control, your hazard, favorite button, and your defrost up here. Quick access to that defrost right there. We get this textured carbon fiber-like design all the way around the interior here, which is nice. It classes it up a little bit in here. Moving down further, we've got USB-A and USB-C interfaces if you want to plug in your phone. Qi wireless charger right here. A little bit of storage right here in front. A little bit of additional power right there. As I mentioned, 10-speed automatic transmission in this one that was co-developed with Chevrolet. The backup camera is very wide. It makes you look like you are very far from whatever is on screen here. It is a little disorienting if you haven't gotten used to it. It is the only exterior camera on this one. No 360 cameras. Then we have this. It is your drift brake, your electronic parking brake. It's a lot of things, but it's just weird to me that it doesn't ratchet into place. It's all electric, but it does trigger your parking brake, which you can see is on right there. To turn it off, you push down on it, and now my parking brake is now off, and then I can put it back on by pulling it up. As I showed you when we were on Mustang mode right there, we can go into our track apps here, and it is also a drift brake, so you can pull up on it and do some crazy, wacky antics, which I unfortunately did not get to test out because I don't have a space where I can really set this thing loose. The meme is how Mustangs leaving car meets do like to kill everybody, right? So yes, but you can see all our different timers there. A little bit of storage in here. We've got 2 cup holders and a decently sized center console here with our pencil bag, go bag underneath the padded armrest here. We also do have a decently sized damped glove box. We get a little bit of storage in the doors. And then again, more of that textured plastic. Up here we do have sunglass storage, but no sunroof on our particular model. Homelink controls right there. And coming to me, plenty of headroom, especially without a sunroof. I think this is a great sized vehicle for me, though I am the quintessential average American male at 5'10". I do believe I still have enough room for me in here with a helmet on, which I would love to test out at some point. But yes, my seat is all the way down right now, and you can see about a hand's width, maybe a little bit more of headroom right up here above me. Can't say that's the case all the way around though. As we pop out and talk about the back seat in this one, I do want to say we do have these nice little magnetic latches that keep the seatbelt in place for if someone is only riding up front, but in the event someone wants to ride in the back. There is a Dark Horse shaped latch back here. Yes, this very much looks like the new Dark Horse badge in its overall shape, but a latch there in the center of the back of the front seats to allow it to lean forward to climb back there. That does not allow it to slide. Again, it is a power sliding seat, but then you can see we have 2, as I call them, butt pockets back here in the back. Now I'm going to gracefully try and get in to the back seat here, which, I mean, can, in theory, be done, but it's a little cramped, and then you just kind of slide in to, well, the butt pocket. And then, unfortunately, much like a lot of the cars I've tested that are 2+2 here lately, there's no place for my head. This is very much a back seat that Tucker likes to ride in because he can look right up and see out of the glass right above him. But my 2012 Camaro, I can say for a fact, would have fit me back here because I took a 6'4" friend with me, and we rode back from San Antonio with 3 people in the car, the 6+ footer back here in the back. There is no place for my head, which is a shame because, I mean, my feet sort of fit back here, and if I pull the seat back to where I was sitting, I mean, I fit. I'm not going anywhere, but I fit. Like, my knees are firmly in the back of the seat, and my feet are completely underneath the seat. I'm wedged. I'm not going anywhere. I'm very secure in here. And then, like I said, it is only a 2+2, so we get this padded section right here. Now, I did mention a 50-50 split seat back, and you can see you can fold the seat sections back with the pull of that little latch right there. Tucker also really likes the fact that he's got an armrest back here. But yeah, that's about all I can do climbing around in this one. So I'm gonna do my best to climb out of this thing gracefully and get back. Oh boy, I'm stuck. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna get back in the front seat, show you how this thing performs out on the road. Very much more comfortable up here in the driver's seat, especially when I'm the only one in here. I can have my seat set where I want it, though with the 3rd-person memory seat, I can even have someone's in the back seat drive setting over here. While I've got the cameras up and my hands free, I did want to talk about CarPlay. So we have a nice big screen, though I can shrink it over and have various different car functions displayed here on the side. Though I will say I've generally just left it open like that. We'll go ahead, put push down on the parking brake, put our 10-speed automatic into gear, and set off. Now, in normal driving, I am in normal mode here. This thing's quite loud, even when you set off in it. That was nowhere near full throttle, and yeah, we did get a chirp from the tires back there. This thing is plenty quick and plenty loud. This very much reminds me of my 2012 Camaro SS. It's firm, but not harsh. It's comfortable and cozy in here. And while, yes, my Camaro was made fun of for so many years for having just coffin-like interior lighting in here, I would say this Mustang is bordering on the same here. These side windows are kind of narrow. Visibility all the way around, I will say, thanks to the extreme slope of that rear window, I've got some great visibility there in that additional window that I did not have in my Camaro with its more upright rear window. So as long as nobody's riding back there, this is really the more preferred shape. But yes, if you've got rear seat passengers taller than Tucker, good luck to anyone riding back there. Otherwise, setting off in this one, I can say those Pirelli P0 Performance summer tires are just that. They are summer tires, and they are very good and very grippy when it's warm out. It is currently 72 degrees out, which has been the best day that I've had this vehicle. It was delivered to us on a rainy day. It has been raining practically ever since. It has been cold, it has been dreary. This really is the first chance I can really get out and stretch this pony's legs any and have some fun with it around some curvy East Texas back roads. I will say, leaving a certain destination late at night, I gave it a little. And well, yeah, some of those memes about Mustangs leaving car meets are kind of unfortunately true. It is very easy to step the rear of this vehicle out, even with traction control on, if those tires are not warmed up. Which brings me to some interesting features in addition to that remote rev that this particular Mustang has. We do have what is called line lock on this vehicle, which locks up the front brakes and allows the rear wheels to spin freely so that you can warm them up, you know, for safety, so you don't take out pedestrians. For safety. Yes, so this Mustang has a lot of technical features that make it both very fun, but also kind of stupid all at the same time. But it's kind of why you buy a car like this, right? What we're going to do first is warm up the rear tires with line lock. That locks up the front brakes, allowing the back wheels to spin freely and kind of warm up those tires for a 0 to 60 run. Once your tires are warm, you can absolutely rip to 60 in this, which I too tested out in some off-site locations that shall remain undisclosed. Now that our back tires are all warmed up, so we're gonna see here, drag race lights, okay, and oh my goodness, this thing is skirting all over the place. 4.59 seconds. Now, I think this can do a little bit better than that. All right, so we're gonna see just one more time what 0 to 60 is like. My goodness. 4.22. This thing is quick. Whew. One last run, do 0 to 60 and see what this thing is like. We've definitely got those Pirelli P0s warmed up. We've also got the entire neighborhood on alert as to there's an idiot in a blue Mustang doing some crazy stuff. So one last go of it all. Like I said, we've got those tires all nice and warm. Let's see here. Traction control really stepped in, killed that one. My goodness, 4.55 4.5. Very interesting. I feel like this thing should be a little bit quicker than that, right? We're gonna turn traction control off this time. There we go. Oh my goodness. 1.82, 4.12. Woo! That was a lot quicker. That was a lot more exciting. That was a lot better. So 4.12, pretty exciting stuff. All right, so I was a little disappointed in those 4+ second 0 to 60 numbers. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I was trying to do it in a situation where, yeah, I had a lot of eyeballs on me. With some extra time and some extra fiddling with everything, all the electronics in here, I do believe I can get closer to the 3+ second 0 to 60 times that Ford claims with this vehicle, but I got very close, almost 4 seconds flat in this. But again, traction was my biggest enemy. I was constantly fighting for traction with those rear tires, even after roasting them and warming them up a bit. Now, as I am on a twisty East Texas back road, pony cars have historically been good at one thing: going fast and making a lot of noise in one direction. As soon as you turn this round thing here in front of me, well, things change a bit. That has changed in the modern era of pony car, and this really is an all-around sports car. This thing really does stick to the road when you warm the tires up, and even here in normal drive mode, it is a lot of fun. We'll go ahead and put it over into sport mode and have a little bit more fun. That does open up the active exhaust back there to make it even louder than before. So definitely letting people know, hey, there's a 5.0 racing around your neighborhood or around your countryside. This thing is truly a blast and does make me miss my Camaro a whole lot. I love the sound of a powerful V8. I love the feeling of a performance coupe like this, and I really do like piloting this thing around. It has been a fun vehicle in my week with it, and I'm just sad that I am unfortunately going to have to give it back because there is so much more I could and would do testing this thing out with a little bit more time, because this thing is an absolute blast. And the power numbers on this, well, yes, they could be higher and are higher on the Dark Horse and GTD Mustangs. I think it is well suited for what this car is. It is very capable and very fun to be behind the wheel of. Now that we're at the end of the twisty bits here, we've got a little more straight road ahead of me. I can talk about the competition or lack thereof. Yes, this has killed off all of its competition twice now. The Challenger died and came back and is now dead again. The Camaro died and came back and is now dead again. The Charger has died and come back and died and come back, and it's now electric and will have a straight six and maybe a Hemi yet again. But yes, the Charger Daytona is a massively larger vehicle inside and out. And I wouldn't say competing directly with this, though the nostalgia baiting and all of that, it does kind of compete directly with this. And that's really where I want to transition into our next video here on the channel, because as always, I will stick Holly behind the wheel here and we'll put Tucker in the back seat and talk about what this 2+2 pony car has been like to live with for our family of three, with Tucker in the back seat there, with me in the passenger seat, what Holly has thought about it, driving it around town, and what her general thoughts are of the entire pony car genre. Let's just say I really want to get back into this genre, just maybe not at this current life stage. Another interesting thing I want to point out is this is not the only vehicle we're testing this week. We are also testing a midsize pickup truck with a nearly identical price point, but half as many cylinders and more torque than this V8, which is quite interesting, right? That midsize pickup truck video will be coming out on this channel very soon, so if you want to see more on this car or on that pickup truck, absolutely hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you are notified when future videos drop. That 4-cylinder is also a little more thirsty than this V8 has been in our testing. You can also find us on all social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, in the 2025 Ford Mustang GT Performance, until next time, gearheads, bye. Ha ha!